Well, everybody, we did it. We're here again for another episode of Mostly Business, which means we've made it another 2 weeks here on this planet, spinning around, and who knows where we're at. Actually, I mean, we're on a planet spinning around, but there's something else out there we don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out on today's episode. With me, as always, Ryan Farrell. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. On that question about if there's anything else out there, um, do
Yes.
you think we'd actually have something to be concerned about if an alien came here? Because there'd only be a handful of them. Me and my
Mm,
wife had this conversation literally yesterday, and she was like, "Of course we would. They'd all come." And I was like, "Ah, what if they can't? What if they
mm,
can't send that many? What if this was a big feat for them?" And then we just took
yeah.
their little people that dropped off, and
I think they'd be more concerned where they landed.
yeah, yeah. Who knows? Maybe they
Let's
land
go
in
back to where we came from. This place is nuts.
maybe they land in Cancun and just love it here. You know.
Yes, it is quite a mystery. Quite a mystery, which is
But
why
overall, I'm good.
to me, because we know it's a mystery, it's always so funny when people are so certain about different things, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's my
Yes,
thing
like
with everything. Everyone's so certain about literally
all
anything.
the quote unquote facts about space, for example. It's like no one's ever. I mean, we have satellites out there supposedly, but
Yeah, you'll have like
what are the chances that we're living in an actual like massive Truman Show? It's not zero.
maybe better than us knowing weather patterns and planets and completely other solar systems. Or like, because we'll hear like, oh yeah, this planet is similar to Earth, except for they have a
Right.
9-month long winter. It's like, fuck, you
Yeah.
don't know what?
Right.
Like, I know I'm sure there's like great
Yeah.
ways to get educated guesses, but it's presented as fact so much. It's
It
wild.
is. That is always so funny to me how they present that stuff as fact. And it's like, bro, you don't even know what the weather's going to be like on Saturday here in St. Louis. Like,
No.
you can't get that right all the time. How do you know what's going on Uranus?
Yeah, we can't make a healthy potato chip.
No.
But we can know that. Get out of town.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What we do know is that we got a lot of cool stuff going on here in the real world, including with our newly launched Influence Engine Accelerator. Happy to announce we have, as of this moment, 73. Got a couple other stragglers that probably end up jumping in, but 73 people who are on board with the program starting next Monday to help them put in place a system that is supported by AI to use flagship content to get more leads and clients. So really excited about that. We've been focused on that for the last few weeks for everyone who kind of follows our stuff. And so nice conclusion to that. And I thought it was a great promotion. A lot of cool free resources, and then for people that want to work directly with us to get it done, there's a next step. And Ryan and Tim, I know you guys are going to have your hands full working with everybody, but I know we're all excited about it.
Well, the feedback we got on the webinar was just fantastic. And I think we should share with the audience what you shared with me, Josh, is that, we had basically, give or take, right about 100 people on. And correct me if I'm wrong, was it 39 of them that bought? Is that correct? 38, 39, something like that?
I think 38 on the webinar itself, which was a very high conversion percentage.
So that's basically a 30. Yeah. So basically more than 1/3 of the people said, I need this in my business. So that says something that we're in the right space and the right pricing and the right content. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, and then we had as we do with these things, we had the offer open for a few days after that and had another, I don't know whatever the number is, but another 40 people or a little shy of that jumped in. So excited to roll up our sleeves and get that going with everybody. And it's interesting that one of the things that we're focused on in that program is, and I'm over here looking for my show notes, is the AI stuff, which we talk about at length, but we've never really embraced it because, going back a few years ago, the AI stuff started getting popular right around the time, I don't know, a year into COVID, probably like 2021, I remember was when people started talking about it a lot more. And I remember at the time being like, it's going to take time for this to be something that is going to really be helpful for most people. Cause we've all been we've been doing this stuff long enough that we've seen certain fads and trends come and go. I remember when Periscope, everyone was talking about, if you're not getting on Periscope right now, you must be dumb and deaf. And then
or Clubhouse.
Yeah. And then I was just going to say the next one was Clubhouse. And for a short period of time, like people were raving about that. And, I remember some people who are like business associate kind of friends messaging me being like, bro, are you getting in Clubhouse? Dude, I'm killing it with this. And I was just like, no, I'm not getting in. I'm not getting on it. And people are like, what do you mean?
What's wrong with you?
I'm not interested. Sorry. And that's fine. Like, cause I don't know. Sometimes I just prefer to like let other people be the guinea pigs. And then once it's like, oh, okay, this has some staying power, then I'll invest time and resources into it. And if it's working well, then, share it with some of our clients as well. And that's where we came to it with Influence Engine, because, the stuff that we've been doing together, right? Me and Ryan and Tim over the last 6 months or so, we were really seeing Ryan just kept coming to the table with like, look what this AI is doing, creating content with it, et cetera. And I was like, this looks like it's ready for prime time. So we started using it in our business, started helping some clients with it, got it to a place where we had a really legit system, and now able to show people how to do it. And it's really come a long way in the last few years. And obviously now is definitely here to stay, not going anywhere, only going to get better. And, for better or worse, it's not going anywhere. But
it's going to be like the theme of the next decade. I feel like, there's like everyone, for the longest time, everyone would start the marketing, but like, why you should be on social media. Right. It's like, that was like a thing for a long time, for like 15 years, people still talking like that. And then it's going to be AI for that for a while. And then it's just gonna be taking the right advice, instead of just like, everyone's gonna make it seem like the only easy button, like you just push AI and AI just does all your job for you. And that's not the case, but it does make it like
points
absurdly faster and bad, and can really improve on if you wrote it yourself, and for writing and some other things, and helping organize stuff. And that's just the surface level of what it can do. So it'll be fun to see where it goes.
Well, I can tell you, I meet with a lot of one-on-one people every week, and I'd say a little less than half are using it in their business right now. So says a lot.
Let's talk about that, Tim, because I know that in the one of the stories that you were bringing to the table today from AP is about that exactly. You want to dive into that?
Yeah, I'm happy to. It is a little story I found on AP, and just a couple interesting things to mention on that now. So they surveyed a ton of small businesses. When I say they, I'm not quite sure. Probably the Associated Press actually has surveyed a lot of small businesses. 98% are
gentleman named. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought it was somebody else. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
It's okay. 98% said they're utilizing the tool that is enabled by AI. And then the other stat that I thought was interesting, 40% said they use a generative AI tool. And of course, an ad just came up for my convenience while I'm reading this, which is awesome. Using AI tools like chatbots, image creation, and that number of 40% has doubled from last year, which I thought was fascinating. To me, those numbers are way more than I would have guessed. What do you guys think on those numbers? Because would you think that last year it was 20%, this year it's 40% are actually using the tool? And the fact that almost every small business has some little form of an AI tool in their business. Those numbers actually shocked me. I would have thought they were cut in half personally when I read that article.
Well, to some extent, I think that the 98% is kind of a bullshit statistic, because probably there's so many pieces of software that used to be called software or SaaS, SaaS, software as a service, that like within the last few years, they've just like, they call it AI now. And it's like, it's the same software that, you know, people have been using for years and years. So that's my guess of where the 98% would come from.
I think they've also added in, I'll give you one example where they've added in AI on a tool, if you will. And as you know, Josh, and maybe Ryan, you know, I run just a little eBay side business, and in there now I can use even AI to write the description. So I'll let AI write it, and then I basically take out about 75%, add a couple of my own words, but I'll keep one or two of their lines. So, you know, maybe they're including things like that, you know,
they will. And it's called, it used to be called something else. Now it'll be called AI. Like chatbots have been around before they were called AI, you know, and now it's called AI. So, you know, that's just, you know, getting caught up in the nomenclature to some extent, but obviously a lot more people are using it now and trying to figure it out. And I think that, like, you know, chat bots and like little customer service bots, you know, that's, to me, that's not the stuff that's like really going to move the needle for people. And it's really exciting. It's like when you can really when some of these tools start to become so good that, you know, you don't have to hire a marketing person now because this piece of software can just do it. And that's where some of the stuff that we're doing with like ChatGPT comes in and is so, you know, that's a game changer right there. And to me, I hope it stays at that level and doesn't expand past that. But of course, that's not realistic. You know, I saw some news yesterday that Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, which is not open, actually is a closed platform. He said that AI super intelligence could be just a few thousand days away. That means like
what a weird way of saying that a time frame.
I know it is.
So 1,000 is 3 years, give or take.
9 years, and he's talking about super intelligence, like you know, it's like what we might consider godlike, right? So this is, and then I think he said, I don't have the exact thing because I was hearing it on the radio, but basically he was saying it's going to solve all of our problems and create, and you know, we're going to be living in a paradise. So that sounds nice, but we'll see.
Just a short 78,000 hours away.
Well, I'll be happy when super AI comes out. I'll be super retired. So, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool. It's going to be, to anybody, you said like, you know, it's going to help some small businesses not have to hire certain positions. I mean, I think like if somebody's in one of those positions that are worried about it, now is like the time to just start playing around with it and get good at it. Cause like I could see them not hiring a traditional marketing person, but instead hiring somebody to do like a lot more, but with the help of AI, you know what I mean? To manage the AI portion of it. And so if anybody that's watching this isn't a business owner, you should start learning how to do that because it's going to be a part of it no matter what. And even if you don't want it to be a part of it, like your employers are going to ask you to do it, like no matter what.
100%. So it's coming.
It's coming and it's cool. I mean, I was skeptical about it at first too. Like if even this year, I was just like, because I see all these people and they write the dumbest things and they have forever, you know, like I'm just turning off screen share, but they'll write the dumbest things about AI, like you know, have AI automate all of your this with one simple prompt, and then it's like, well, the material, and so like that's how I started with it. I was like, okay, let me see what these people are talking about, and it would like spit back very generic, terrible stuff, and some of the stuff is like I don't even know if it's a topic I don't know a whole lot about. Like, I don't even know if it's 100% true, you know? And then I had a conversation with one of my friends who does a lot with AI, and they're like, well, you gotta, you know, he kind of is having the same issues, but he's like, well, it helps if you interact with it a little bit and like poke and prod to get the right information. And that helped. And then what I really found out is like, if you bring to the table some actual knowledge on something, but you don't want to spend the time to put it together and really flesh it out, but you have some insight based on what either opinions you have or actual facts or whatever, if you really put that together, it can give you something really cool. You just got to do it in the right way. And like once it really like it clicked for me one day and I did it, I was playing an hour just going back and forth this chat bot being like, what are you talking about? Do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just didn't give you enough information up front.
Yeah,
No, it's really no different than an employee. Like if you give them some like bullshit vague directive, you know what I mean? They're gonna get the results gonna be the same. But if you give them a pretty specific thing that you're looking for and prepare them for that, then it helps a whole lot. And it happens like immediately, instead of like needing to wait a couple days. But so it's been really cool. The only thing I wish it would do is slow down a little bit. Sometimes it like it makes it too fast. I'm like, could you take a full minute and think about it, and then spit this out and see if it's any better? But it doesn't really do that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you please take your time in answering this? Yeah.
That's why I'm like, well, there's no way. I like, so a lot of times I'll put in like a research report or something that I'll find something like Forrester or Edelman that'll have like a report. And I don't want to read it because it's boring. But I want to know what the insights are aside from just what the conclusion page says. And so I'll put it in there, but can you summarize this for me? And like can you analyze this report and summarize the key points for me? And then it'll like spit it out in 5 seconds. It's like, well, I don't trust that you read it, like, can you actually go in and read it? But
even on Facebook
crazy.
with articles now, it's great. Like there's some reading like a sports article yesterday. I'm like, oh, and I see 8 billion comments. Give me the summary, what everybody's saying and what's going on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and Josh and I were working on something recently where he gave me feedback on it. It was really interesting that I was kind of in a rush on something. So I was like, okay, can you look at this that I wrote and look at the feedback from this person here? And I just copied and pasted the feedback in there. And I was like, can you incorporate the feedback into what I wrote before? And they're like, and it like spit out something. I was like, well, that's pretty damn close to what I would say. That's awesome. Like I didn't have to go through and do it all myself.
That's nice. Yeah, that's sweet. Well, lots of AI stuff. We'll continue to keep everybody posted on what's going on with it when new cool stuff comes out. But I would say that, creating content like that, the stuff that we're doing in Influence Engine right now is the coolest thing for business owners to get more out of your marketing. Another piece of news that I wanted to mention that I thought will apply to everybody is hopefully will apply to everybody. Department of Justice announced this week antitrust lawsuit against Visa. And I don't know the details of it, but basically saying consumers are paying too high prices on these credit cards and such. But Visa is primarily Visa's a big player in the debit card space too, and so this has some sort of a impact on Square as well. But anyways, I think that the gist of it here is that they're looking at Visa has debit card practices that are essentially monopoly of sorts, and they have filed an antitrust suit. So I hope that they can lower credit card fees and processing fees, because if this is a debit card suit, I would think that would be good for retailers, because consumers don't pay fees on debit cards unless you overdraft, right? But most of the time it's the way the companies make money, Visa and the banks and such, is the merchant, whoever is accepting the payment, pays a fee for every transaction. And that, as we all know, that's going to be 2 or 3% usually on Visa, somewhere in that range. American Express is the most expensive. They charge merchants sometimes up to 4%, which is why a lot of places don't accept American Express. But anyways, it would be nice for businesses to get that cost down. And I will say, as somebody who's, we've accepted millions of dollars in payments, and I've worked with a couple different payment processing companies, more than a couple actually. And it's confusing. They should simplify the whole process. And there's also kind of deceptive, people, credit card companies advertise a certain percentage as what they take, their fee. And then when it really boils down to it, there's all these other things they add in that it adds up to a lot more than what they kind of told you up front. And of course, that stuff's buried in the fine print. But you end up in a situation as a business owner where you're getting hammered by these fees. The amount of money you're paying every month in credit card processing fees is just, extraordinary. And so I hope it comes down, but I also am skeptical that anything meaningful will happen. I mean, we've all heard of all of these, we've heard of the various antitrust and monopoly cases over the years that really seems like what they end up with is that the company pays a fine to the federal government. So Visa, write a, $1 or $2 billion check to the government and be on their merry way, but nothing much really changes in the long run. So we'll see what happens, though. Hopefully something good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm curious. Is there anything here in the whole article, which I have not read to be honest, but about interest rates as well? Is that part of the suit? Do you know, Josh?
No, that would be related to credit cards.
Okay, this is debit. Well, I can tell you, as far as even using debit or a regular credit card, I have certain business. There's one I deal with. I'll give you an example. My pool company. If there's any repair over $500, they charge us an extra 3% to use a credit card. So,
right, that's more.
I literally go old school and write them a check to avoid, if I got $1,000 repair,
Yeah. I do the same with clients if we're doing, one-on-one work, consulting, et cetera. If somebody wants to pay by a credit card, I'll tell them, I'm going to tack 3% on, because like we're talking about, if you have an invoice to pay that's a couple $1,000s, then the 3% of that is $60 or something. It's like, for your convenience of paying me with a credit card, I'm supposed to take $60 less. No, thank you.
It's a free happy hour for you and the wife,
Yeah. And nobody likes that, though. When I've been on the other end of that too. And I'm like, come on, I'm writing you a check for $2,000 here. Just let me use my fucking credit card without asking me for a little more money. But it's like, I can see it both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had someone recently ask it was a 7% thing. It's for a birthday party. 7% is crazy.
7% out of line. And I would be really.
It's like a $500 birthday party, which I mean, again, it's $500. I'm not like stressing over like 7% of $500.
What do they want? Are they trying to incentivize you to pay by check or cash?
I don't know if that's what they want, but they did. I'm definitely incentivized for that.
Well, there's a Thai restaurant here in town that give a 10% discount if you pay by cash, and I don't know if they do it anymore. They did for a short time though, and I think I remember going back like some months later, and it was like maybe it was only like 5%. So I think they modified their policy. But I was like, that is I mean, they're not paying 10% in credit card fees. That seemed to me more of a like they don't have to report that money on the tax.
I was about to say
right in the pocket.
Genius.
We also
we made 30 grand last year. It's like, no, you didn't.
I thought it was a little too blatant,
Yeah. The place that I was just like, I was like, well, can I just pay? Because I even on my like deposit fee, I had to pay over the phone. I was like, well, you can charge me for that.
Yeah,
I'll pay the extra for that, but I'll bring in cash for the actual thing for sure. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have where you live in California? Your gas, and I never do it, but is like 10 cents a gallon cheaper if you pay cash. Do you guys have that?
We don't.
No.
We do not.
But then again, you're not paying $4.69 a gallon, so you're good.
You're going in there and with a wad of cash into the gas station and standing in that line.
No, I don't. I use my card. I have a little tiny 2-seater that takes 10 gallons. It's $1 more to just,
I hate going into gas stations so much.
Oh, dude,
my kids think it's like since we never do it. Anytime we're on like a road trip, we need to get go to the bathroom and get a drink. They're like, this is badass. We're going to go inside and we're going to get a bag of chips or something. And so every time they want to go, I'm like, no, we're going to stay out here. Like, I don't want to go in there. And there's always some weird stuff going on. I've been in bathrooms where like, I saw someone run out of the bathroom and just poop coming out of their pants all over the floor.
Yeah.
Bro, like, and I don't live in bad areas. Like this, like, I'm not going to do a gas station.
Well, if it's a Wally's or a Buc-ee's, those are nice gas stations.
I went to Wally's for the first time like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, because we were like right next to it. I was like, well, let's just go to it. And it's cool. It was cool. I don't know. The food. The problem is the food, which everyone says is really good, which it was fine for gas station food. It's like restaurant food prices, and it's just clearly been sitting there. Like the bread is like tough.
I don't think the food is good. I think the brisket sandwich is average at best. And I was like, it's all right. I do like their popcorn, and their beef jerky is pretty good too. I'll vouch for those.
I almost sent you a picture of the beef jerky wall because I know how you're a man of fine taste in that genre. You know,
I can't believe how much jerky they have in there, though. You're right; they do have a huge
ton.
Yeah.
I also had canned Gatorade, which I was just a big fan of. I don't know why. I bought a canned Gatorade. I had been swimming all day, and then I bought this Gatorade and just drink it out of a can. And for some reason, I was like, "This is awesome." I don't know why. I talked about it to my friends even later.
Yeah, we got to get you, Josh, on canned wine. There's canned wine now. It's not bad.
I've messed with canned wine before.
I'm gonna wait a few years on that. I'm gonna let that get dialed in a little bit.
You know what, though? I found out it's the best deal in the airport. So that's a little scoop for people like to drink on planes like myself. Yeah.
What are they
I
selling
don't
it
like to drink on planes.
in the airport?
In the airport, yeah. So actually, I bought it on the way home from St. Louis in Phoenix. We had to stop in Phoenix when we left your house, and the lady she's like, "Oh, do you want a can or do you want a glass?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I don't know. What's a better dish?" She goes, "Oh, the can. It's the best deal in the airport." So $12 for a 12-ounce can. So 2 6-ounce glasses, if you will, and it was $12.
That's like you bring that on the plane and drink it on the plane.
Well, there's certain people that find a way to get it on the plane that I've heard.
Keistered it.
Some, not you though. Some you've heard about some people.
I've heard about people doing that. Yeah, obviously, I would not break the law and do that. So
right. Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that. I was gonna say that doesn't sound like Tim I know.
So Tim, you're one of those guys that just gets real drunk at airports? Because I can't do it. I get so tired that when I get to where I'm going, I'm like, I'm gonna fall. I need a nap.
No, I'll have a drink. No, I can't afford to get drunk at an airport. That's like $150 to get drunk at an airport. No.
You got 3 or 4 hours on a plane. You're gonna be halfway through that flight. You're gonna be hungover. You know?
Yeah. No.
I have friends that are exhausted to go to airports with because they're like stressed about it. They're like, let's go get drinks, and it's like a whole thing. They're like, it's 9 a.m, and by the time we get somewhere, they're real drunk. But they can go forever. They're like animals.
Yeah. No morning drinks in my life. But if it's an afternoon or evening flight, nice glass of wine, a gummy, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
The best drink in the world is a lunch drink. I stand by that. If you can have one drink at one time of the day, lunch, not during a work day, but like in terms of if you don't got shit to do, if you go somewhere nice, it's nice outside, and you have a drink at lunchtime, that's the best time in the world.
I get tired.
I'll get tired too, but during the drink, I love it. Like if I'm on vacation, you go to those places. There's a place in San Francisco that they sell like fish bowls, right? You get like a group big ass fish bowl, but it's like nice. It's like cocktails. So and they had all these fancy ones, and me and my wife and another couple went there, and it was like, I don't know, 11 a.m. and we're just like drinking out of this fish bowl, having a great time, and that's the shit I'm talking about.
And you were in bed by 4 that day, right?
Yeah, I don't know. The guy we were with is one of those people where it's almost like he's secretly like ripping lines behind. So like I don't know how these people exist. They're like days in a row, like bachelor parties. Like if we talk about those, they're like day 2 of a bachelor party is not fun. Day 1 is amazing, but day 2, I don't know how people fucking do this for like 3-4 days in a row. Like it's not me.
You want to,
Yeah. Well, let's move on. I had a story that came across my desk earlier today, and these stories, guys, I'm here working, and they just come across my desk, and this is one of them. Yeah, they just come. I don't even know where they're coming from, but this one about Pesto the penguin. I was working, and all of a sudden, it just came right across here, and I was like, "Wow, we got to talk about this on the show." So, the penguin in Australia, who is apparently capturing hearts worldwide. These hearts. I hope these hearts will be released soon that have been captured. But this penguin, that's the baby on the right. That's the mom and dad. The other 2 that are normal sized.
Oh, I love that penguin. I get it. Why people love that penguin.
It's a 50-pound baby penguin, but it's 9 months old at this point. But he's weighing in at just under 50 pounds, more than the weight of both his parents combined.
That poor mother, huh?
That's a prodigy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this baby, but somebody needs to. It must be formula fed or something.
Excuse me, I'm in the mute. But no, that penguin's huge, and I
Look
love
how-
it.
He's menacing too. He looks like he's like they look scared of him.
He's like Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
I love how close mom and dad are, though. That kind of warms my heart a little bit.
It'd be really funny if this was just like, because he looks nothing like them either. If this was just like, if they were just wrong, and like the baby's gone somewhere, and that penguin just walked up, and they're like, "Oh shit, look how big he is!" Like, because that penguin, he looks nothing like the other two.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced I'm not convinced they're the parents, because look at that. But I mean, if it is true, like,
are you saying Daddy Penguin might have had an affair? Is that where you're going?
or they stole the baby, because like, what the hell? That's a penguin is enormous, dude, and it's black, all black, and they're gray with like maybe they change colors. I'm not a penguin guy, I don't know, but like, I don't know. If it is true, I love the penguin. And you know what? I think this is trying to capitalize this thing that's happening right now. Have you heard of the Moo Dang, like the baby hippo?
I've been seeing the memes, but I don't know anything about it.
It's just a cute baby hippo. I'm wondering if this is Australia trying to capitalize on the Moo Dang thing.
Maybe.
Are you familiar with Moo Dang, Tim?
Never heard of it.
Oh my goodness.
He's a hippo that made a funny face. That's all I know.
The article that I could pull up is a pygmy hippo is stealing hearts and biting zookeepers.
All these hearts being stolen.
Oh man, I can't read the article. It's a paywall one. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that looks like a penguin mixed with something. I don't know. I've never. They like the ones on the left look so much like more normal penguins, but
yeah,
that's like a penguin meets like a hawk or something. I don't know.
Well, it says that he has a very healthy appetite. He eats up to 30 fish a day. Pretty significant amount of fish.
Damn.
And then he's got a lot of fluff. When he grows up a little more, they say he'll lose a lot of that fluff, and he'll probably end up around 33 pounds. So he's gonna trim up. Apparently.
Wow, that's almost as much. My border collie weighs 40 pounds. It's pretty amazing to have a penguin 33.
Yeah. Did you find Moo Dang, Ryan?
I'm trying to. I hit the wrong screen share, and it like threw me off so much. Oh, yeah, this is Moo Dang. He's just a little. I don't know like what pygmy hippo really means, but he's just like this adorable little hippo, like that. See,
where does
and
he
everyone
live?
loves him. Oh my gosh, I know it's an Asian country. I'm not sure which one, but but yeah, it's a cute little hippo, and like look at that thing, dude. Get the fuck! I mean, come on, get out of here. My daughter would shit her pants if she saw that. Like, I don't even want her to, because I guarantee there's Moo Dang stuffed animals being made as we speak, and I might end up with one at this house. I know it.
Very cute.
But yeah, we got this giant penguin. This cute giant penguin. We got this cute hippo. Cute animals are they play all year round.
Yeah,
you know, like you see those news stories.
Well, they give us hope.
Like water ski. Give us hope.
They give us hope, and they've captured our hearts.
That's the most local news line I've ever heard about something like this. Every local when I grew, I never watched local news really. Like the Channel 5 news or whatever.
Yeah.
But growing up, it was on all the time. There was always some weird little animal, like this 3-legged dog won a race. It's like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's always capturing hearts. But the local news, I kind of every once in a while I like it when the thing I like the most is the like the little segment where they on like the morning news, local news, where they like go to some local business establishment and like feature it and talk to the people there and stuff. Like I find that to be usually like pretty cool and easy going. What?
Does it steal your heart when they do that?
It does steal my heart. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's usually like quirky, kind of funny, content that is somewhat enjoyable, but that's only like a few minutes of the whole program, and most of the rest of the program is just terrible.
Yeah, I don't want to. You get teased about something horrible the whole time, like something. Could your kids die today? and then they'll like push it to the end, and then the answer is like no,
We'll
probably
be
not.
back after this.
Yeah, it'll be like all about how strangers are giving your kids free drugs, but I agree. I wish there were more like Guy Fieri, like the diners, drive-ins, and dives things. I wish there were more people that were like had big reach that just went to cities and went to cool small businesses, not necessarily restaurants like he does, but like that, like even if you don't love Guy Fieri, like that's a cool show that he does that and goes around and like this weird place in Kentucky makes steamed cheeseburgers, and like but they're delicious and here's why. And then it's like a big game changer for those people for the rest of their lives a lot of times.
He just showed up at a concert I was at like 4 weeks ago. He showed up on stage at the Sammy Hagar Van Halen tour that he was doing just now.
Tracks. He seems like he would be there.
Yeah, he was on stage doing shots with Sammy there. So I was like, oh my god,
nice.
I like him. I just don't like his shirts. That's my one feedback I'd give him. Is I think your shirts are whack. But other than that, I think he's an all right guy.
I could see you in his hair, actually, Ryan.
His hair?
Yeah.
Get out of here! No way. Let me pull him up.
It'd be good for you, I would think.
Dude, I would look cool as hell, dude. Look at. Hold on. Let me. I just cooked up Guy Fieri, and give me a second.
I actually told my wife if we've talked about moving to Hawaii someday for a while, and I said, I might bleach my hair blonde one time if we move to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You think I'd look cool like that?
Dude, that's so you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I'll do it. I'll do it. It's the Joe Burrow did it. The quarterback for the Bengals. He's got.
It worked well for him in his game, huh?
I saw the funniest tweet the other day after that game, and it said Joe Burrow is 0-3 since becoming a lesbian, and had a picture of Joe Burrow for the game and wearing this outfit, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Hold on. We can go back to other things in a second, but no. Let's see, lesbian. I know this was his outfit. And I thought the tweet shared this photo and it said Joe Burrow's 0-3 since becoming a lesbian in the offseason.
Hey, man, he's 24 years old, starting quarterback. He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants. I'm not actually hating on Joe Burrow or anything. I just thought it was funny.
No, wait, is it that it's that one on the right that you were showing? I could barely see it on the screen.
Oh, hold on. The white vest.
Well, here's the actual thing. This is the actual tweet right here.
Oh, 0-3 since turning. Yeah. Well, it's the vest.
It's the vest. It's the vest, and then he changed his hair color. And it's just it's just funny.
It is a lesbian's haircut, but he's a handsome guy though. He can get away with it.
He can get away with it.
Absolutely.
For sure. It's just
I'm
funny.
in favor.
Yeah, because he used to have this hair like here's the after and then before, I guess, but.
I bleached my hair when I was in high school for a time, or not high school, in college for a time. I was getting into the raves and stuff and got a little too crazy for a few months.
What was the influence behind that? Was it like an Eminem thing, or was it Guy Fieri?
It wasn't like Eminem. It was like spiky, like.
What color?
Like bleached, like that super blonde, white and yellow.
Yeah, like that band that sings
if there's any, I would
Butterfly.
I'd put down some cash to obtain those photos.
Yeah, this was I think I was 20 maybe. They're around. Maybe someday you'll get to see them. I don't remember what inspired that at all, but I just know that I was making poor decisions at the time.
It's your deep love for Simple Plan, the band.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Becky here.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody I thought was cool did it, and then I was like, I'll do that too, and then I'll be cool.
When I was in high school, I dyed chunks of my hair black.
Oh,
not the whole thing, and just not in any real pattern. Just like chunks, like so my hair was like brown, like for like a little while.
Right.
In hindsight, it was really dumb, but I thought it was badass, and chicks liked it, so it was fine. I did okay.
Yeah. Well, guys. I think we jump into our song of the day right now. And I know a little early, but I think we're going to wrap this episode up a little early today. And Tim, you've got a good one for us. And wow, there's a lot going on with this band right now.
Yeah, there's a good story with it and everything. So, so Jane's Addiction, the original band, hadn't been together. Their first record, I think, was '88, and the last time the four original members played together was 1992. So, very short story here. So they decided to reunite the original lineup this year and created their first new song, which you're about to hear in about 1 minute, called Imminent Redemption. And I have to tell you, it's one of the best songs, in my opinion. I like Jane's Addiction. I'm not like a fanatic. This song actually blew my head off. But the funny thing is, so they're doing their reunion tour. For those of you who don't know, you guys obviously both know. And about 8 to 10 shows in, Perry Farrell, in a drunken drug rage, attacked Dave Navarro, the guitar player, on stage and have taken a hiatus. So Perry's going to get help, mental health, drug addiction. So, I hope he gets the help he needs. But in the meantime, this song, which they debuted in London about 6-8 weeks ago, called Imminent Redemption, I just think it effing rocks. So,
well, hold on. Why did I saw that video? What happened? Why did he fight him?
So, according to his wife, wrote a little why he fought him. Is supposedly, according to her, Dave's guitars were too loud and they were blasting out Perry's vocals, according to the wife. So he lost it. Obviously, not the right way to handle it, but you could hear in the video. To me, you could hear his vocals just fine. But he was. I mean, I don't know if you saw the whole video. It's about 3 minutes long, where it just keeps building up, and it's just. I mean, it looked like, like the bully at the bar picking on some little kid or something. It was awful. And Dave Navarro's like, "What the F is going on?" He's like, looking back, and yeah. So I think they played 9 songs. It actually happened in Boston, my old town, I do believe, is where it happened. So.
Yeah. Man, that's something's not right when you do that kind of a thing on stage in front of all those people. Like, you're not thinking straight.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
All right, Imminent Redemption. Let's go, Ryan. Great tune.
Let's make some good trouble. Let's call in the drummer. High stakes in our drama. And we need the women too. Let's stir up that karma and put it in your pocket. Let's launch us a comeback. Come back and love that. It sounds right to me, man. The imminent redemption. I see we meet again in the imminent redemption.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like the music video a lot.
Yeah,
Super
it's a
simple.
great rocking song, but yeah, I think the reunion lasted a good 8-10 weeks. Their Imminent Redemption, no more. I got a feeling you'll never see him again, but we'll see.
No, yeah, I mean, it's tough to come back from that, and also like just the blow to the fan base. To the fan, they try and tour again someday. People will be like,
Yeah, not sure if you're gonna make it. Yep, I get it.
Yeah.
It's nuts, but I wish him good health and
yeah.
Crazy. Those guys are probably about my age, so I mean, it's amazing.
They were always one of those bands to me, though, that like I was like, they don't hold a special place in my heart or anything because they were around for such a short amount of time. Like, they weren't really a band for what they make 2 albums or something,
Yeah, they made an album later on, 2 albums later on with 2 other members. It was just Perry and Dave. Then it was a different bass player and drummer.
Yeah. It's almost like, to me, I look at Perry like he's kind of a nomad, and there was Porno for Pyros, and then they did a little Jane's Addiction. I guess he kept that going for a little while. I didn't know that, but yeah. But obviously they got a fan base who's probably disappointed about the tour being canceled.
Yeah, Dave's a great guitar player. I actually saw him. I saw him play. It was really interesting. This is right before Taylor Hawkins died at the Ohana Festival a couple of years ago. It was a new band, and it was the 3 guys from Jane's Addiction with Taylor Hawkins on lead vocals, and I got to see that up close. And they literally only played like 5 shows.
Interesting. That's neat. That's really cool. Yeah, I know Dave Navarro was the Chili Peppers guitarist, at least on that album, One Hot Minute, maybe some others, but I think it's just that one.
It's just that one record. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that album personally. A lot of people say it's their worst. I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't really know it, but yeah.
It's the one that had like Aeroplane and
I know that song. Yeah.
It's a cool album. Yeah. Yeah, man. Cool. Well, good song there, buddy. You guys got anything else for today?
I think I'm good. Just excited about our class starting next week. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't have much either. But thanks for everyone for showing up.
Yeah.
And everyone who joined the program, anyone that's watching, I'm really looking forward to it. We start Monday.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Cheers.